Hey everyone, it's your buddy back again with another exciting fanfic, which is what if Sasuke tried Naruto's Sei-Wai Jutsu and couldn't turn back. Part 2 Female Sasuke Awakens. If you enjoy this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more fanfics like this. Now, let's dive right into the fanfic. Everything was in an awkward silence. But Kiba soon broke it. Here comes a hottie with a body, aho aho. Kiba shouted perversely. Within a yellow flash, Kiba was down with a broken jaw by Naruto. The Junin senseis that were hiding in the trees were shocked and assumed Naruto somehow learned the Yondaime Hokage's technique. Sayuri on the other hand had hearts coming out of her, as did Hinata, but it turned to a scowl glaring at Sayuri. Sakura and Ino was glaring at Naruto. By now the senseis interfered. Naruto was still glaring at Kiba. Cough, all right kids, the reason we told you to come here is because we all decided to enter you guys in the Chunin exam that is happening next week. Kakashi said. Woohoo, finally I can prove I am the best. Kiba shouted. Kiba, do not get ahead of yourself, it is only the Chunin exam equals, not Anbu exam, and besides how can you be the best if you cannot even defeat me? Shino stated. While everyone except Kakashi, Kurenai, Asuma, Hinata, Kiba and Shikamaru were shocked that Shino spoke that many words. Yeah, well, in this exam I'll kick your ass. Troublesome, Shikamaru thought. Munch munch, Choji thought. Dog brat, shut up, Hinata thought. The demon is going to die, Sakura and Ino both thought. I wonder what I'll have for dinner. Naruto thought. I wonder which outfit I should wear I go to Naru-kun's house today. The one that covers my body or the one that reveals most of my body? These are the questions that haunt me. Sayuri thought. That bastard bug, I'm going to beat him the beat Naruto in the Chunin exam and make Sayuri mine. Buzz buzz, Shino thought. Oh Mitsuki, you naughty girl. Porn. Kakashi shouted in his thought. Kurenai is so Asuma thought. I need to step up Hinata's training so she can survive in this Chunin exam. Especially against Sayuri. And somebody for the love of God get that porn out off my sight. Kurenai thought. Anyway, here's the information on the Chunin exam if you want to learn more and make a decision if you want to get in before next week. Kakashi said while giving paper to the kids. And with that, my team come with me so we can start training, Kurenai said. Same with my team, Asuma said. When the other teams left, Team 7 was looking at their sensei, well, only Naruto and Sayuri. Sakura was glaring at Naruto. Naruto was feeling uncomfortable by this and looked at Sakura and was scared, then looked at Sayuri, who did not realize the atmosphere and held on to his arms like she always did. He could feel her breathe on his arm and was getting aroused. But he didn't know what that feeling was, he just felt funny, especially in his stomach. Alright team, start doing 50. Naruto and Sayuri and Sakura do 70 inches, Kakashi said while reading porn. Why do I have to do more? Sakura shouted. Because you haven't shown up to team meetings for a long time, this will be your punishment for the week. Kakashi stated plainly. Kakashi looked at his team. Well, what are you waiting for? Start or I'll increase the laps. With that, the team started to run. Naruto was ahead of everyone else. Sayuri was second, trying to catch up with Naruto. Sakura was the last one. Sayuri was thinking what she was going to do to her Naruto after training. Sakura was thinking of ways to kill Naruto. Once the demon is killed, then Sasuke-kun will return. Sakura thought. 3 hours later, Team 7 had just finished all their training. Kakashi gave them an eye smile and told them to go home and rest and to come tomorrow at 7 a.m. for more training. And he then shunsoned away to God knows where. Naruto and Sayuri were leaving the training ground. Naruto put his left arm over Sayuri's shoulders, which told people that she was his and only his. Sayuri was smiling, loving her boyfriend's warmth and possessiveness. For them everything was bliss until a certain banshee ruined it. Naruto baka, take your hands off Sasuke-kun. The pink banshee shouted. Naruto on the other hand had an passive face while Sayuri was trembling with rage. Sasuke. Where? I don't see him, Naruto said. He's right there. Sakura said, pointing at Sayuri. Naruto looks at Sayuri. Where? All I see is a sweet and hot girl, Naruto said with a questioning face. Sayuri stopped her trembling and was blushing. He called me hot and sweet and hot. Sayuri thought. Sakura saw the blush on Sayuri's face and was getting pissed that Naruto was changing her, Sasuke, and brainwashing him. Demon, get away from my Sasuke-kun! Sakura shouted. Naruto was going to say something but was interrupted by his girlfriend. Shut up. You bitch. Don't call my fiancé a demon. Sayuri shouted. Sakura was taken aback by this. But her resolve didn't waver. How can you side with demon? Don't you see, Sasuke-kun, that the demon is brainwashing you into falling in love with him? He just wants to have your power, that's all. So please come back to me. Sakura stated. Sayuri by now was planning on using her Sharingan and put an illusion that put Sakura in a coma for a very long time. Listen here, you bitch, I have just about enough of you bastard fangirls and bastard villagers calling my Naru a demon. You should be thanking him. He's protecting this village from being destroyed. What do? You insult him, try to kill him for what? For protecting your pathetic lives. If Naruto wants my powers, he can have them. All I need from is his love, nothing more. Let's go, Naruto-kun, Sayuri shouted as she grabs Naruto's hand and leaves the training ground. Sakura was left behind in training ground 7. Sayuri was practically dragging Naruto. She was going as fast as she could while dragging Naruto. She was pissed that Sakura said all those stuff about her Naruto. She could care less if she insulted her, but when you insult her boyfriend, you going to get it. That bitch called a Naruto a demon. He should be considered a hero, but no, he was forced to protect these bastards' life while sacrificing his own. She looks around and sees all the glares that the people were giving Naruto. These bastards. She then looks at the Hokage monument and sees the 4th Hokage's face. Dumbass Yondaime ruining the life of a child just to protect these demons you call people. Sayuri thought, starting to hate the so-called greatest ninja in the world. Sayuri-chan, where are we going? Naruto asked. Sayuri stopped and looks around their surroundings. They were in the graveyard. But Sayuri was too pissed to be embarrassed. She then looked at Naruto. He looked carefree, especially after what Sakura said. Looks like we went in the wrong direction again. Haha. Naruto said, chuckling while scratching the back of his head with his right hand. How can you be so carefree? Sayuri shouted. Naruto stopped and put his hand down and looked at Sayuri confused. What do you mean? What I mean is, why did you let Sakura call you a demon? Why didn't you do anything? You could have punched her or something. So why? Sayuri at this point started to cry. Why don't you do something to protect yourself? Sayuri said while crying. I know total OOC, but hey, don't feel like you want to cry when you are in front of your girlfriend or boyfriend. I think at least I wouldn't know, never had one forever alone. Breaks down crying. Naruto looks at the crying girl. Well, I guess I got used to being called a demon. It's not like I can do anything right now to change their views on me. I mean, they did lose precious people to the fox, and since it's sealed in me, all I can do is shoulder their hate. Sayuri looked at him. But you're the hero. People should worship the ground you walk in. They should be throwing themselves at you, Sayuri said. Well, if that happened, I would be a spoiled kid now, wouldn't I? Just look at Sasuke, he was a spoiled kid just because he was part of the Uchiha clan. And I doubt that if people saw me as some kind of hero, you wouldn't have fallen in love with me. And besides, if I was in their place, I probably would have done the same. Considering that Sasuke and Sayuri are two separate people. Sayuri looked at Naruto, still crying. The smile on his face looked calm and cute, but if you looked closely, you could see sadness in the smile. That smile. He had the same smile when he told me he was the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. Sayuri thought. Flashback. Sayuri was walking to Naruto's house from Ichiraku's. The reason she was at Ichiraku without Naruto is because most of the shops either banned her, kicked her out before she could even get in, or overpriced her. She then found out the reason they did that. It was because she was dating Naruto. She received the same punishment he did. getting glares and having to listen to whispers behind her back. But she had no idea why they hated Naruto. But she didn't care. Once Naru-kun becomes Hokage, they'll be sorry they ever treated him and me like that. But at least Ichiraku has tomato ramen, Sayuri thought. While she was walking to Naruto house, lots of people were glaring at her. And she could even hear whispering. If she concentrated, she could hear what they were talking about. Sasuke-sama is cursed by the demon. No, what if he is a demon lover and just turned into a woman to please the demon? She was pissed at the first comment. She hated being called Sasuke, but she couldn't disagree with the second one. She did become a woman to please Naruto, but she was not being controlled to do it. She wanted to beat them up, but since she was a ninja, she can't hurt the civilians. But her torment was over as she was a few miles away from Naruto's apartment. She ran so she could see Naruto. While running, she could still hear the whispers from the civilians. If he falls in love with the demon, how is he going to get revenge on Itachi? That comment made her stop running. She herself forgot about taking revenge on Itachi. She was so concerned about her and Naruto that she forgot about her brother and what he did to the clan and what he did to her. Yes, she gave up on her revenge, but that didn't mean she didn't want to go and find him and bring justice for killing an entire clan. But then the next comment completely threw her off guard. Don't worry, once Itachi comes back and finds out what he did to his little brother, he will kill the demon and Sasuke-sama will be back to normal. A random civilian said. This made Sayuri stop completely. Making her think of Itachi coming back, but not to kill her, no, coming back to kill Naruto. Her Naruto. She could no longer hold back her tears. She didn't want Naruto to die. He was the only thing she has left. So she ran really fast to Naruto. To see if he was okay. When she reached his door, she knocked really hard. The door probably would have broken if Naruto didn't open the door. Naruto opened while holding a cup of ramen and saw a semi-crying Sayuri. Sayuri-chan, what are you doing here this late? Naruto asked. Sayuri did what normal people would do when they cry. Tackle someone. Lucky for Naruto, he was shocked and confused as to why Sayuri was crying, so he decides to speak what was on his mind. Nay, Sayuri-chan, why are you crying? Naruto asked. It was a few seconds of sobs and sniffs until Sayuri answered Naruto. I'm glad you're okay. Naruto was even more confused. What are you talking about? Of course I am. Sayuri wiped the tears away. I just thought Itachi came and tried to kill you. Don't worry, some of the villagers were gossiping and I took it too seriously. Sorry, Sayuri said. Who's Itachi? And why would this Itachi try to kill me? Naruto asked innocently. Sayuri looked at Naruto like he had grown a second head. He doesn't know who Itachi is. Who doesn't know Itachi? Sayuri signed and started explaining how Itachi was her older brother, how he became a genin when he's 7 and he became Anbu captain at 13. And last but not least, how Itachi massacred the Uchiha clan just to test himself. Naruto by this point was impressed. And he wanted to be stronger than Itachi. But became pissed that Itachi killed his family just as a way to test his skills. Okay, I now know who Itachi is, but why would he come after me? Not like I did anything to piss him off. Naruto stated. Well, since you're really special to me, I just thought he would take you away from me like he did to my family. She said, tears ready to flow down. Naruto looked at Sayuri. He didn't know what it's like to lose something or someone, considering he never had anything to begin with. Alright Uzumaki, let's not go there. But he understood, knowing that if Sayuri or anyone precious like the Hokage or Ichiraku were gone, then he would go crazy. So he hugged Sayuri. Sayuri felt safer when she hugged Naruto, like there was nothing that could harm her if she stayed with him. Sayuri was in bliss. Naruto on the other hand was contemplating whether to tell her his secret. Maybe I mean she did tell me her secret and maybe she wouldn't care if was a Jinchuriki. Naruto signed he was going to take the chance, and besides I'm going to have to tell her sooner or later. Might as well tell her now. Sayuri, there's something I need to tell you. Naruto said, breaking Sayuri out of her bliss. Sayuri was worried he didn't use the chan in her name, which meant something important is going to happen. Oh no, he's going to break up with me. Damn, I shouldn't have told him about my clan. Sayuri thought, panicking. Oh okay, Sayuri managed to say. Naruto saw Sayuri trembling. Let's go inside so we can talk in where it's hot, okay? Naruto said. Sayuri nodded. When they finally sat down, Naruto brought tea so they could start off calm. So Sayuri, I have to tell you something and it's really important. Naruto started. Sayuri was scared. She didn't want to break up, not now, not ever. You see, the reason is please don't break up with me. Sayuri blurted out and started to cry. Naruto was taken aback by the comment. Huh? Naruto managed to say, confused as to why she thought he was going break up with her. Please, I'll change. Just tell what you don't like and I'll change. So please don't leave me. Sayuri shouted. I'm not going to break up with you. Naruto said loud enough so that Sayuri could hear. You're not? Sayuri asked, still crying. Hell no. What kind of an idiot would dump a perfect girl like you? Naruto said. Sayuri was happy but confused. Then what is the reason you were so serious? She asked. I was going to tell you before you interrupted me. Why people hate me? Naruto said. Sayuri said with on her mouth. Well, do you know about the Kyuubi? Naruto asked. Sayuri nodded. Well yeah, we learned in the academy that the Kyuubi came and attacked us randomly and the fourth Hokage defeated him. Sayuri said, confused as to why the Kyuubi has to with anything with how the villagers hated Naruto. Well, that's where you're wrong. The Kyuubi was too strong for anyone to beat and a Biju can never die, so he did the next best thing and the only thing he could do. And that was sealing it into a newborn child that just had its umbilical cord cut. These people who have a Biju sealed into them are called Jinchuriki. Jinchurikis are hated because they house demons. Naruto finished. Okay, but what does this have to do with you? Then it hit her. Glares, the whispering, the insults that were all directed towards Naruto and now to her. All because of a stupid demon. Then she looked at Naruto. He had a sad expression on his face. I'll understand if you don't want to stay with me anymore. I'm used to it, Naruto said. He was used to it, Sayuri thought. What she did next shocked Naruto. She tackled him. Again. How can you be used to it? Sayuri said. Naruto was confused. You don't see me as a demon? Naruto asked. Why would I? And besides, would a demon save a girl from being bullied? Would a demon save a village from a drug lord? If a demon did do those things, then I need a new dictionary. Sayuri said. Naruto was happy and for the first time in his life he cried. He cried tears of joy. I'm so glad you don't see me like that. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Naruto said. Well, it's their fault they left a guy like to me. So that means I'm the luckiest girl in the world. Sayuri said. I wonder what you say if you were Sasuke. Naruto asked, curious. Sayuri thought about. Considering my old self, I would say he would be jealous you have a demon in you and would be and order you to give the Kyuubi to him, Sayuri said. Ha ha ha, that's true, and by the way, can we say that you and Sasuke are two people? 'Cause you are nothing like Tem. Naruto asked. Sure, I really would like that. Sayuri said happily. Flashback end. After that, the bond between Naruto and Sayuri got stronger. They tell each other about everything. Sayuri cried all night when she found Naruto got beat up for no reason, especially on his birthday. She even promised him that they would have a proper birthday for him, which made him happy. Sayuri looked at Naruto. She really wanted to make him happy. But she knew that she couldn't, considering his inerasable past. But you should at least defend yourself, Sayuri said. Naruto at this started to laugh. Not possible. If I did anything, my ninja license would be revoked by the stupid civilian council. They are trying to get any dirt on me that they could use, but thanks to Gigi they can't, especially now since I can only follow his orders. And also, Sayuri, be careful now that you're with me, they will do anything, Naruto said. Sayuri nodded in understanding. Alright, I understand, but promise me that once you become Hokage, get rid of the civilian council. This is a shinobi village, which means it is under military dictatorship, not politics. Sayuri said. Naruto nodded. I promise. Naruto said with thumbs up and his usual grin. Okay, let's get some rest for tomorrow's training, Sayuri said, going to Naruto's house since it was closer. For the whole week, Team 7 and the other teams have been training non-stop. Sayuri learned some new fire jutsu from Kakashi. Naruto improved his taijutsu and his chakra controls and learned some 1 wind just you, 2 earth jutsu and 1 water jutsu. Sakura missed 2 of the trainings, but they didn't care since Sayuri and Naruto are the ones that holding Team 7 and Sakura as their meat shield, Sayuri said that. As support, Kakashi. For no reason, Naruto. The last day for before the Chunin exam. Kakashi gave the team a day off considering they worked hard, at least 2 of them did anyway. Naruto was having a peaceful walk until he felt someone following him. He looked back and saw a square box. Naruto ignored already knowing who it was. So he walked faster. The box moved faster. He moved faster than before and so did the box. But Naruto finally had it. Konohamaru, get hell out, I know it's you. Naruto shouted. The box suddenly exploded. Coughing could be heard. We put too much gunpowder, Moegi, Udon. Konohamaru said. Sorry, Konohamaru, said another voice which was obliviously a girl. Yeah, sorry, said another voice which indicated a boy. When the smoke cleared up, 3 kids were standing. They shouted, we are the Konohamaru Corp. Naruto didn't want to deal with them, decided to turn around, walk away. Konohamaru saw this and ran after him asking to play ninja. Naruto obviously declined, but Konohamaru kept asking until a banshee screech was heard. Naruto blocked his ears and was safe, but he couldn't be sure about the kids. Well, look at that. A ninja playing ninja, really stupid. Sakura said. Naruto looked bored. The only thing that's stupid is you, howler monkey. Naruto said while cleaning his ears. But before Sakura could counter, Konohamaru interrupted. Hey Naruto, is she your girlfriend? He asked. Naruto nearly had a heart attack. Some asked him if he was going out with the village's banshee. Naruto looked at Konohamaru with a glare, that hatred that could rival the Hokage's hatred for paperwork. What in the world would make you think I would date that thing? Points at Sakura, and I'm already dating a girl. She's way better than that banshee. By this, Sakura had enough and was chasing Naruto and Konohamaru core. They ran until Konohamaru bumped into someone. When Konohamaru stood up, he saw a boy that had makeup on and was wearing all black and had a sack on his back. Hey kid, apologize for bumping into me, the boy said while grabbing Konohamaru's scarf. Moegi and Udon shouted his name in fear and concern. Hey Kankuro, put the kid down, the girl beside him said. The now known as a Kankuro looked at the girl and said, not until he apologizes, Tamari. Tamari signed. Nad, Sakura being the idiot she is talked. What is Suna Nin's doing in Konoha? Tamari looked at Sakura like she was an idiot. Wow, you're an idiot, we're here for the Chunin exam. She looked at Sakura, who was pissed, then looked at Naruto. Cute boy, Tamari thought. Hey blonde, wanna go out sometime? She asked Naruto. Naruto surprised that he was asked out, but he had to decline since he already has a girlfriend. When he was about decline, he was interrupted. He's already taken. The voice was from Sayuri, who was on the tress near them. Tamari looked at Sayuri. Really, by who? The pink idiot over there. Tamari said, pointing to Sakura. Sakura wanted to kill her and Naruto was laughing. Sayuri wanted to laugh, but she was too busy glaring at Tamari. No, he's dating me, Sayuri stated. Tamari had an amused smile. Why would he date you when I can give much more pleasure? Tamari stated. Sayuri was about counter until Naruto interrupted. Not to be rude or anything, but can you drop the boy? Naruto said while pointing to Kankuro. Kankuro shouted. Not until he apologizes. Well, that's going to be forever. That kid is never going to apologize, so just drop him, Naruto stated. Kankuro was about to say the same thing until another voice came to the conversation. Kankuro, drop the kid, you are embarrassing our village. A red-haired boy said, who was also on the tree. Kankuro and Tamari looked scared when the boy arrived. Sorry Gaara, Kankuro said while dropping Konohamaru, who ran and hid behind Naruto. Gaara then looked at Sayuri. You, what's your name? He said. Sayuri Uchiha, and sorry but I'm already taken, Sayuri said while holding onto Naruto's hand to prove her statement. I'm Subaku no Gaara and I will meet you in the Chunin exam. Gaara said. Hey, want to know my name? Naruto said, pointing at himself. No, Gaara said, and Naruto was dejected. Sayuri was comforting him. Tamari, Kankuro, let's go, Gaara said, leaving the area they were in. Well, I'll be seeing you, hottie, Tamari said while winking at Naruto. Was Kakuro said. Konohamaru and his group were telling Sayuri how cool she was and said their goodbyes and then left. Now the only ones in the clearing were Naruto, Sayuri and Sakura. Sayuri was taking the dejected Naruto home while comforting him by saying that raccoon guy will be sorry for underestimating him. But had to stop short when Sakura started calling Naruto a demon. Sayuri had enough and punched her, knocking her lights out. And left with the now laughing Naruto. It was the day of the Chunin exam. Naruto woke and realized that he was in Sayuri's house. When he took off the blanket, he was blushing like crazy. Next to him was Sayuri, only in a black bra and panty. He was praying to God that he was able to see the most beautiful thing in the world. Sayuri woke realizing the loss of warmth. When she opened her eyes, she saw Naruto was in a praying form. She wondered why. When they were fully awake, they brushed their teeth, ate breakfast, and went to the academy where the first part of the Chunin exam was taking place. When they were walking through the streets, they could feel the glares they were receiving. And could hear the whispers as well. Sayuri grabbed Naruto's right hand tighter. Naruto could feel her breathe on his arms and was feeling happy. When they reached the academy, they saw Sakura there waiting. Sakura was being smart and not opening mouth, which was good sign to both Sayuri and Naruto. When they went inside, they were looking for the room number 301. When they went on the second floor, they saw a large amount of people in the halls in front of a room that said 301. Now Naruto and Sayuri knew that it wasn't real because they could see past the genjutsu, so they were going to go past and go to the third floor and go to the real room. Sakura knew because she knew the layouts of the building. But she didn't follow her teammates, she being the idiot she was, blurted the secret. That's just a genjutsu. This room 201. Sakura said in her banshee screech. Sayuri and Naruto was annoyed that she said that. So Sasuke-kun, did I impress you? She said as she turned around to and faced Sayuri. Sayuri was pissed. No, you dumbass, that genjutsu was used to weed out the weak. Now you just made this exam more time consuming. And for the last time, I'm Sayuri. Sayuri stated. Sakura looked dejected and was about to counter the I'm Sayuri part, but was interrupted a Hyuga. So you're the last Uchiha, huh? Pleased to meet you. I am Neji Hyuga and I want to fight you, the now known as Neji said. Yeah, so, Sayuri said. She took Naruto's hand and walked away. When they reached the dojo for taijutsu for academy students, they were halted by a boy with big eyebrows. The boy then went in front of Sakura and asked her for a date, which he got rejected. Why won't you go on a date with me? Is it because of him? The boy said, pointing at Naruto. Naruto started to laugh like crazy. Sayuri was getting pissed. Naruto is my boyfriend, why does everyone think that he is with some else? Sayuri shouted. My name is Rock Lee and I want to fight you for Sakura-chan heart. The now known as Rock Lee said. Naruto was laughing. Be my guest, she's all yours. Naruto said. He grabbed Sayuri and went to the exam room. When they climbed the stairs, they heard panting. They looked behind and saw Sakura walking up the stairs breathing hard. When they finally got to the right room, they saw Kakashi reading his orange book. Sayuri growled at that. So you guys came, Kakashi said. Yup, wouldn't miss it for the world. Naruto said. Well then, good luck, and remember, work as a team and you will be able to pass. Kakashi said, I smiling. And with that, the doors to the first part of the Chunin exam has begun. The doors fully opened. Naruto and Sayuri were both excited. They wanted to test their skills with people from other villages. But Sakura, on the other hand, was nervous. She never wanted to come, especially when she heard people died during Chunin exams. But the only reason she came was so that she could get her, Sasuke, back, and kill Naruto. She was even coming up with plans and to use the Chunin exams as an excuse for Naruto to go missing. Air quote. So when all three got inside, they were met with large ki coming from all the participants that were already there. Sayuri wasn't scared, but she held onto Naruto just in case. Sakura was shaking in Naruto. He was cleaning his ear with his pinky. Naruto wasn't scared, he was already used to it from his childhood. Wow, is that supposed to scare me? Oh, who cares? This nothing compared to the Ki from the Anbu groups, Junin, and Chunin groups combined. Naruto thought. Naruto then looked at Sayuri, who was holding his hand. He knew she wasn't scared, so he was confused as to why she was holding his hand. He then looked at Sakura, who was trembling uncontrollably. Pathetic. How did she become a ninja anyway? Naruto thought. Naruto was brought out of his thoughts when someone called his name. Hey Naruto. Shikamaru said lazily. Naruto looked surprised to see the lazy Nara here. He was definitely sure that Shikamaru wasn't going to come because of lazy personality. Hey Shikamaru, didn't think you would come. What happened? Naruto asked. Shikamaru signed and said, Ino forced me, troublesome. Naruto nodded but felt something that Shikamaru was hiding. Was it just Ino or was there another? Naruto asked curiously. Shikamaru signed again. It was also my troublesome mother. She told me if I didn't enter she would do unspeakable things to me. Troublesome. Shikamaru answered. Naruto was sweating remembering about Sayuri's mother. Well, mothers are scary. Glad I'm an orphan. Naruto thought. For some odd reason he heard screaming and tears, but he did not know the origin of it was. He then looked at Ino, who was glaring at him. Hey Ino, excited or what? Naruto said. Ino just glared at him and him away. Crap, totally forgot she was a fangirl, Naruto thought. Hey, looks like Rookie 9 is together again. The voice came from the arriving Kiba. Team 10 and Team 7 turned to face Team 8. Hinata blushed when she saw Naruto, but she quickly turned to glare at Sayuri, who was clinging to Naruto's arm. That should be me. Not some stuck-up Uchiha that turned girl. Hinata thought, releasing ki at Sayuri. Sayuri felt the ki and looked in the direction it was coming from. Sayuri wasn't surprised to see Hinata glaring at her. Actually, she was expecting something more, especially since Hinata was stalking Sayuri ever since Sasuke disappeared. Really, is she only going to glare at me? I was thinking she was going to kidnap me and rape Naruto while I'm tied up somewhere. Oh well, she's weak, especially from all the rumors that people talk about. Sayuri thought. Sayuri just looked away from Hinata and held on to Naruto's arm tighter, making Hinata releases more ki at Sayuri. Anyway, how cool is this, all of us entering the Chunin exam? Kiba shouted. Everyone in the group was nodding their head, all except Sakura and Hinata. Sakura too busy glaring at Naruto and Hinata too busy glaring at Sayuri. Hey, if I were you I would keep my voice down. Someone said. The group turned to see the origin of the voice. It was from a boy who had silver hair and wore glasses, wearing a purple no-sleeve shirt and a t-shirt underneath, and wearing black Anbu pants with the standard ninja shoes and holsters and whatnot. You should keep your voice down cause you're attracting a lot of attention. The boy said while pointing backwards. Everyone looked at them and shivered. All except Naruto, he was used to killer intent. Sayuri shivered a little because she was used to ki from the villages. I'm Kabuto Yakushi, nice to meet you. The now known as Kabuto said, smiling. Hey, Kabuto-san, are you excited for the Chunin exam? Kiba said in a lower voice. Excited would be last thing I would feel, especially since this my 7th time trying. Kabuto said, smiling. 7th time. Sakura Banshee screamed. Everyone in the room covered their ears. Yup. Kabuto said, still smiling. Naruto looked at Kabuto. That smile. It's fake. What's he up to? Naruto thought. Well, considering the fact that you guys were shouting, I guess this your first time in the Chunin exam, correct? Kabuto said, and everyone nodded. Well, I have information that may or may not help you, Kabuto said as he took a stack of cards out of pocket. Naruto got curious. What's that? Kabuto used his right index finger and pushed his glasses up, and a smirk plastered on his face and said, "This, friends, is information cards. I just put a little chakra and the information I gathered my whole as a ninja appears, for example the map of the elemental nation. And on the card there was a map of the elemental nation. If you want I can give you information on your future opponents if you want," Kabuto said. "Then tell me about Subaku no Gaara and Neji Hyuga," Sayuri said. "Ah, you already know their names, it's no fun," Kabuto whined. Everyone's sweat dropped. Well, let's get started. First, Subaku no Gaara, from Suna, first time doing the exam just like you guys. Highly skilled about mid-chunin. Unknown number jutsus, mostly because he controls sand. Really weak in taijutsu. Teammates are his siblings Sabaku no Kankuro and Sabaku no Tamari. Misason's 4D ranks, 20C ranks, 10A ranks, few, not only that he came out unscratched from every mission," Kabuto said, surprised. Everyone was silent when they heard that. Kabuto, feeling weird, broke the silence. Next is Neji Hyuga. From the branch family of the Hyuga clan, high genin to low chunin, highly skilled in taijutsu. Weak in ninjutsu, did 145D ranks, 25C ranks, 1B rank. Sensei made a guy Konoha's green beast. The Konoha 9 were shocked about the competition. Anything else? Kabuto said. Yeah, tell me about Rock Lee and Sabaku no Tamari, Naruto said. Okay. First, Sabaku no Tamari, ladies first. People were sweat dropping again. Sabaku no Tamari from Suna, first doing the Chunin exam. Same amount of missions as Gaara's her little brother. Highly skilled in wind jutsu. Carries a large fan for said wind jutsus. Unlike her brothers, she is cheery and apparently likes blonde boys, Kabuto said, while Tamari was waving at Naruto. Naruto was chuckling and was waving back. Sayuri was glaring at Tamari. That bitch better stay away from my Naru, Sayuri was shouting in her head. Kabuto looked at the group. Okay, moving on. Rock Lee. Of Konoha, first time doing the Shunin exam. No skills in ninjutsu, and no genjutsu except for one called the setting of the youthful sun low junin in taijutsu. Shock from the rookie 9 teammates are Neji Hyuga, and 1010 Kaburagi and Sensei Maeda Guy. Warning: beware when Maeda Gain add Rock Lee are together, they will release the ultimate genjutsu that is seen to man and ninja. Men change taste, women kills men. Kabuto finished. Everyone was silent except for Lee, who was shouting youth to everyone. Oh, okay. That was interesting, Naruto said. Troublesome, Shikamaru said. Munch munch, Choji said. I hope we win, Sakura, Hinata and Ino said. Hell yeah, gonna win this, Kiba shouted. Silence, Shino. Well, anyway, watch out during the exams, Kabuto said. Kabuto-san, there are 5 elemental countries, so where are ninjas that have music notes on their headband from? Hinata said, stuttering. That village is new, it's called Otogakure, it was made 6 months ago. You have nothing to worry about, they shouldn't be a threat, Kabuto said. Suddenly Kabuto turned around and blocked a punch from one of the Otogakure ninjas that was covered in bandaged. Hey, is that all you got? Kabuto said. Then suddenly Kabuto's glasses cracked. Well, am I a threat now? The bandaged Otogakure ninja said. Then Kabuto went on his knees and started to vomit. The Otogakure ninja was about to attack again, but the door bursted open. Listen up, brats, get back to your seats, said a man which all Konoha people know very well, Ibiki. You brats get to your seats now. Everyone that was standing scrambled. The written test is the same except Sasuke as Sayuri and Hinata was glaring at Sayuri and Sakura and Ino were glaring at Naruto. The written part of the test ended and Anko came crashing through the door. Alright brats, let's go to training ground 44, the Forest of Death. Forest of Death. Everyone that passed the written test was at Training Ground 44, otherwise known as the Forest of Death. Well, brats, the only reason you passed the first test is because Ibiki was going easy with you. Once you go through my test, I'll cut the competition in half. Anko said. Everyone was scared. Please, I'm going to be Hokage, nothing will stop me from reach it. Naruto said. Sayuri was looking at Naruto and giggling at his antics. Then suddenly Naruto's seek was cut. Then Anko was on his back. Really, Gaki? People like you are he first ones to die, you know. Anko said and then licked his wound. Your blood tastes so delicious. Anko moaned. Sayuri was pissed. She then grabs Naruto and holds Naruto defensively. He's mine, bitch. Sayuri said. Anko was laughing. I can't believe she used to be the Avenger emo. Then Anko suddenly felt someone presence behind her. Here's your kunai. A freaky genin with a elongated tongue said, giving Anko's kunai that she used to cut Naruto's cheek. Why, thank you, Genin-san. Anko said in a sweet voice. You're welcome. The freaky genin said. Alright, brats, the proctors in front of the gates have papers you need to sign and a scroll you need. Each team will get one scroll, the Heaven Scroll or the Earth Scroll. Once you get in the Forest of Death, you will need to get the other scroll. As in, if you have the Earth Scroll, you need the Heaven Scroll. And if you have the Heaven Scroll, you need God it brats. Once you get both scrolls, there is a tower on the other side of the forest. There you will wait until the third exam starts in 5 days. Anko said, finishing her instruction. What's the paper for? Sakura asked. And she's supposed to bet the smart one. And she didn't even read it. Even the blonde Gaki is trying to read with the help of his girlfriend. Anko thought. That is a contract stating if you die in the forest we not held responsible for your deaths. Anko said, smirking evilly, scaring the only courage she had left. When everything was done and every team got their scrolls, they were all standing in front of multiple gates that was around the forest. Team 7 got the Heaven Scroll. Alright guys, ready for this? Naruto asked his teams, trying to give them courage. The only one that answered was Sayuri. Of course, and besides, if you die then I'll die, so it really doesn't matter, I'll be with you till the very end either way. Sayuri said. Naruto was still freaked out about the Uzumaki mate seal. I still can't believe that a seal like that exists. Then again, there is a seal that calls the Shinigami, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Naruto thought. Sakura, on the other hand, was shocked that her, Sasuke, said that. He almost sounds like one of those annoying fangirls that chase after my Sasuke, Sakura thought. When the gates opened, they ran inside. Team 7 got a good start. So where should we go and which team should we ambush first? Naruto asked. I think we should go to the center of the forest, since everyone would have to intersect at that point to reach the tower. Or go somewhere there is water so that we can keep ourselves hydrated. Sayuri stated. Naruto was thinking. Good idea, but first I need to go pee. Naruto said. Sakura hit Naruto on the head. That's disgusting, can't you see that there is a girl in this group? Sakura shouted. Sayuri was pissed at what Sakura did to her boyfriend. Hey, you're not allowed to hit my boyfriend, and if he wants to pee, let him, not like it matters, there's only one girl and Banshee girl. Sayuri said. Sakura was about to counter when Naruto came back. That felt good. Naruto said. Sayuri then threw a kunai at Naruto. Hey, what are you doing? Naruto said. Sayuri was glaring at Naruto and Sakura was happy, thinking that Sasuke came back to his senses. Where's Naruto? Sayuri demanded. What are you talking about? I'm right here. Naruto said. Naruto is my boyfriend, so I know every detail there is about him. Naruto is right-handed, so his weapon pouch is on his right side, not his left, and Naruto got a cut when the freaky proctor cut him. Now where is he? Sayuri said. Damn it. The fake Naruto went in a puff of smoke which showed a rain nin that was wearing a gas mask. Looks like I'll have to come back. The rain nin said. There won't be a next time, Sayuri said as she used a kunai to stab the rain nins. When she was able to stand straight on a tree branch, she saw Naruto tied up. Naruto Sayuri shouted as she went to the ground and cut all the ropes that tied Naruto up. Arigato Sayuri-chan, Naruto said. When Sayuri freed Naruto, she looked around to look for the rain nin he left. Team 7 were sitting in a clearing. Remember this: if we get separated again, we can't trust each other blindly. It could end up the way this did. Sayuri said. But what can we do? Sakura said, scared evident in her voice. The safest thing for us right now is a password. That way we'll know no matter what who they try to impersonate or how they sound. If one of us gets it wrong, they are the enemy. Sayuri said. So listen very closely and memorize it right now. It's a poem. When I ask for it, here's what you respond. We thrive in the chaos of the enemy tide. Quiet shinobi don't need dens to hide. Our only concern is to watch and wait, until the enemy lowers the gate. Got it, Sayuri said. Naruto looked at Sayuri. And you expect me to remember that, how? Naruto shouted. You are such a dunce. I've already got it down. Sakura shouted back at Naruto. Sayuri was pissed that Sakura called Naruto a dunce. That right is only preserved for me. Sayuri mentally shouted. But she couldn't, especially now since the last attack they could die any minute. We need a better password. How about swordfish, or even ramen? Naruto said, complaining. I'll take the scroll, Sayuri said while standing up. Why do you take the scroll, Sayuri-chan? Naruto said. What, you don't trust me with the scroll? Sayuri said in the cutest voice. Naruto was blushing. And no, it's just that the enemy would come after you, so I should take the scroll. Naruto said. I'm happy that you're concerned about me, but right now you should worry about your own safety, okay? Sayuri said, happy that Naruto was worried about her. Oka. Ow. What the? Naruto said. Suddenly the wind was blowing in their direction. A new enemy. Sayuri shouted. And they were separated. Stick around, you two. It could be fun. I'll go in alone. A mysterious voice said. Sayuri was hiding in the bushes when she suddenly heard footsteps. Sayuri turned around. Sakura. Sayuri said. Sasuke. Sakura said. For the last time, it's Sayuri. Would ever tell me the password, the Ninki? Sayuri said, tired of her confusion. Oh, right. We thrive in the chaos of the enemy tide. Quiet shinobi don't need dens to hide. Our only concern is to watch and wait, until the enemy lowers the gate, Sakura said, disappointed that her Sasuke was still under the control of the demon. Good, Sayuri said, relieved that she wasn't the enemy yet. Yow, are you guys alright? Naruto suddenly said, coming out of the bushes. Quote exclamation mark quote. Quote exclamation mark quote. Not so fast, Naruto. The password. Sayuri said. Right. Ninki. Naruto said. We thrive in the chaos of the enemy tide. Quiet shinobi don't need dens to hide. Our only concern is to watch and wait, until the enemy lowers the gate, Naruto said perfectly. Sakura was a little disappointed that he got the password correct because she wanted to see Sasuke kill Naruto. But was happy that he wasn't the enemy. Sayuri, on the other hand, was smirking. She suddenly threw a kunai at Naruto. Hey! Naruto shouted. What? Does this mean Sasuke broke the demon's curse? Sakura thought. Sasuke, you're back to normal. Sakura said. What are you talking about? I'm still Sayuri. Sayuri said. Sakura was disappointed. Why did you attack Naruto? He got the password correct. Sakura said. Well, that's the reason I attacked him, Sayuri said. Huh. Both Sakura and Naruto managed to say. Naruto smirked. Well done. Then Naruto was in smokes and was replaced by Kusanin. What gave me away? The KUSA Nin asked. I knew you were underground, eavesdropping on everything we said. That's why I chose that kind of password, the kind that the real Naruto would never manage to memorize. Gotcha, imposter. Sayuri said with a victory smirk. I see. Watch and wait, This is going to be more fun than I thought. The KUSA Nin said. With real Naruto. OWWW. Oh, MMPH, huh. Where'd Sayuri and Sakura go? Naruto said. Then a shadow covered Naruto. Huh. Yaha. I tease. Huge. Naruto shouted at the sight of the giant snake. I've never seen a snake that big. What is up with this forest? Naruto thought. The snake looked at Naruto and Naruto looked at the snake. The snake used its tail and attacked Naruto. Naruto jumped but was caught. From behind, Naruto was caught by the snake with its tail wrapping around him. The snake opened its mouth and ate Naruto. God, it ate me. Somebody help me. Naruto shouted from the snake's stomach. Back with Sayuri and Sakura. That was a phony Naruto. Sakura shouted. Damn it, if that was the real Naruto and Sasuke attacked him, that would have been great. Sakura thought. Cha. Hell yeah, I wanted to see the Dobi die and have our Sasuke back to us. Cha. Inner Sakura shouted in Sakura's mind. What happened to Naruto-kun? Sayuri demanded. Oh, Naru-kun, he's playing with my friend a bit. The Kusa nin said. The only one allowed to call him Naru-kun is me. Sayuri shouted. Oh, sorry, Kukuku, the Kusa nin said as she took out her earth scroll. Suppose you'd like to steal our earth scroll, wouldn't you? Since you've already got the heaven scroll. The Kusa nin said. Suddenly the Kusa nin swallowed the earth scroll. Now, shall we see, just who will be stealing scrolls from whom? We'll fight to the death. The Kusa nin said, releasing a large amount of ki at Sayuri and Sakura. They saw images of their death. Is this genjutsu? No, this is fear. The killing intent from his eyes is giving me flashes of my death. Sayuri thought. Sayuri looks to his side and sees Sakura crying. Damn, we have to run or both of us are going to die. Sayuri thought. The Kusa nin looks at Sayuri. Looks like you can't move. Sayuri grabbed her kunai, trying to hold it in position. Come on, little bit closer. Sayuri thought. The Kusa nin then throws two kunais at Sayuri and Sakura respectively. Sayuri managed to move and take Sakura with her. To stab yourself to erase the feeling of fear with pain, just as I thought, you are no ordinary prey, Kukuku. The Kusa nin said before disappearing. With Naruto. Damn you dumbass snake, barf me out now. Naruto shouted from the inside of the snake that swallowed him. But the snake didn't listen. Damn it, at this rate I really am going to be snake food. What to do? What to do? The Naruto thought of what happened during the wave mission. He and Sasuke eating so much that they both barfed. Cha-ching! Naruto thought. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto shouted. The snake expanded until it exploded and thousands of Naruto were in the air. Naruto stood in front of the snake, or at least what was remaining of the snake. Sorry, but I can't die yet, not until I become Hokage. Naruto said and jumped off to where his teammates are. Back with Sayuri and Sakura. Sasuke-kun, are you? Sakura tried to say but was stopped when Sayuri put her hand on her mouth. We have to run before we're found again. Sayuri thought, not caring that Sakura called her Sasuke since she isn't in the mood right now. For Sasuke-kun to get so worried, I've never seen him like this, Sakura said. Then she saw a snake to the side. Sakura then got Sayuri's hand from covering her mouth. Sasuke-kun, snake. Sakura screamed. Sayuri turned and saw that snake and jumped. Damn, I was panicking so much that I didn't notice the snake. Sayuri thought. When the snake opened its mouth trying to eat her, to Sayuri it looked like the Kusa nin. Get away. Sayuri threw kunais and shurikens at the snake, killing the snake in the process. Then the snake's skin started to break, revealing the Kusa nin. You should relax, not even for a second. The prey should always run in the face of the predator that is. The Kusa nin said, and then hurrying to where Sayuri was. The Kusa nin stopped when some shuriken and kunai were thrown in her path. Sorry, Sayuri-chan, a voice said. Everyone looked at the source of the voice. It was Naruto. I forgot the password, Naruto said with a smirk. Naru-kun, demon, Kyuubi brat, were some of the thoughts ran in people's thoughts. Kukuku, Naruto-kun, it seems you had fun with your play date. The KUSA nin said. Naruto looked at him. Creepy, was the thought of Naruto. Yeah, but it seems that there won't be second one. Naruto said, the smirk plastered on his face. Oh, that's too bad, I think she liked you. The KUSA nin said. Yeah, too bad, but she's in a better place now. Naruto said while taking out a kunai. But don't worry, you'll be joining her soon. Naruto said. Here, you want our scroll, right? Take it and leave. Sayuri said to the KUSA nin, surprising everyone that was present. What are you saying, Sayuri-chan? Don't give the scroll to him. Naruto shouted. We have no choice, he's too strong for us. We can't fight. Sayuri shouted. Naruto jumped to where Sayuri was and slapped her. This shocked Sayuri since that was the first time he had hit her. Are you crazy? What's the point? Naruto shouted as he held Sayuri by the collar. If we make a deal, then we'll be safe. Sayuri wasn't able to finish. Who are you? You're not the Sayuri I fell in love with. The Sayuri I know would know that he'll just kill us after he gets the scroll. Huh. Kukuku ha, that's rich, Naruto-kun. But so true. What's the point of taking the scroll when I can simply kill you and take the scroll from your corpse? The KUSA nin said. This shocked Sayuri. What was I thinking? Sayuri thought. The KUSA nin jumped to attack, but Naruto managed to grab the scroll and push Sayuri out of the way and jump back. But the KUSA nin managed to go in front of him and managed to push him back to a tree trunk. Gah! Naruto spitted out blood. The KUSA nin summoned a snake. Finish him. She said. The snake did what it was told, trying to eat Naruto. But Naruto punched the snake's mouth closed. Eat snot. Naruto shouted. Everyone was surprised. There stood Naruto with red blood eyes, enlarged canines and darker whisker marks. Naruto-kun, that's, Sayuri thought. Kukuku, this so much fun. The KUSA nin thought. The KUSA nin summoned another snake and gave it the same command as the previous snake. But it wasn't able to fight Naruto due to the speed increase Naruto got. Good job, Naruto-kun, but let's see how your teammate does. The KUSA nin said, commanding the snake to go after Sayuri. Sayuri, on the other hand, had no time to react. She closed her eyes and waited for impending doom. But it never came. When she opened her eyes, she saw Naruto in front of her with the snake behind his back with two kunais stabbing the snake's mouth. Are you okay, Sayuri-chan? Naruto said. Sayuri was speechless, so she only nodded. Good. But Naruto was suddenly lifted up. Sayuri broke out of her stupor. Naruto-kun. Sayuri shouted. Grr, let me go. Naruto shouted. Kukuku, I can't believe the Kyuubi is still alive and kickin'. So this is what's holding the Kyuubi back. The KUSA nin thought. Five-pronged seal. The KUSA nin shouted, and Naruto was slowly losing conscious. When Naruto finally went unconscious, the KUSA nin took the heaven scroll and threw Naruto somewhere. Sayuri, realizing that Naruto was going to die if he hit the ground, threw her kunai, which hit Naruto orange jumpsuit, causing him to hang on the side of the tree trunk. Well, Sasuke-kun, are you ready? It's time you show me what an Uchiha can do. The KUSA nin said while burning the scroll she stole from Naruto. Sayuri was scared, she was trembling. Not even Naruto, who is the strongest in the team, could match him. It's over. Who are you? You're not the Sayuri I fell in love with. The words that Naruto said kept ringing. Who am I? Naruto-kun's right, this isn't me. I need to fight. I need to fight to protect my friends and my loved ones. Sayuri thought with determination in her eyes. Same fight, just Sasuke as Sayuri and Sakura doesn't help like she always does. Burning the face scene. I got that freak. I'm glad I finished this fast, don't have enough energy to continue. Sayuri thought. Kukukuku, I'm pleased, Sasuke-kun, you were far better than I expected. The burnt up KUSA nin said. What? He shouldn't have survived that. Sayuri thought. Here is a gift before we part. The KUSA nin said as his neck extended all the way to Sayuri's neck, biting her. When the KUSA nin let go, his neck was back to normal. My name is Orochimaru. If you desire power, come seek me. The now known as Orochimaru said. Sayuri, on the other hand, was clutching her neck from the bite. She was pain. So much pain that she went unconscious. Sakura decided to finally come out of her hiding spot and went to Sayuri. Sasuke-kun, are you okay? Sakura then noticed the mark on Sayuri's neck. Was he poisoned? Sakura thought. She then lifted Sayuri and was about to run but saw Naruto hanging on the tree trunk. This is my chance to kill the demon. Sakura thought. She went to Naruto and was about to stab him in the heart when her inner persona stopped her. Cha, stop. If you kill him now it's pointless, the inner Sakura said. What do you mean? If I kill him now, Sasuke-kun will return to his cool self and the demon dies and I'll be seen as a hero. Outer Sakura argued. You're a dumbass, how will be a hero if people see you actually kill the demon, huh? Kill him later in front of everyone in the village during the Chunin exam, but now we need him. We can't go to the next round if we don't have a full team, and when Sasuke-kun returns to his old self he won't be happy that you made him lose his chance to go to the top. The inner Sakura reasoned. Sakura seemed to understand, so she unhooked Naruto and carried both Sayuri and Naruto to a safe location. Sayuri's dream. Sayuri looked around her surroundings. All she saw was black. But then suddenly she saw a child that looked like Sasuke when he was a kid. The kid was crying. Why, Ni-san, why did you kill them? Sayuri went closer to the child. When she grabbed his shoulders, the boy turned his head and she saw Orochimaru's face. Come to me if you want power. Orochimaru shouted. No. Get away. Sayuri shouted. She ran backwards where she saw a young blonde boy with whisker marks. That's Naruto-kun, Sayuri thought happily. But that happiness soon disappeared. When she saw Naruto being beaten by villagers, there was a hole in Naruto's stomach, but Naruto was still able to move his head and look at Sayuri. Why didn't you protect me? Sayuri stopped and started to cry. No. 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 This isn't real, this isn't real. Dream end. Sayuri woke up with tears in her eyes. She then looked around and realized that she was dreaming. She then saw Naruto besides her sleeping with a peaceful face. She smiled at that. At least he's safe. She then put her hand on his forehead and realized that he had a fever. She was about to get up when she felt her whole body ache in pain. Ow! Sayuri moaned. She couldn't move. Damn, not now. I need to help Naruto-kun cure his fever, and I can't do that by being here and not doing anything. Sayuri thought. Maybe you can. You use your body to warm up his. A voice said. Huh, who's there? Sayuri thought. In here, girl. The voice said. Where? Sayuri said back. You really are an idiot, aren't you? I'm in your mind. The voice shouted. Who are you? Sayuri said, anger evident in her voice from the idiot comment. I'm your inner self, Sayuri Uchiha, the new voice said. My inner self? Sayuri blurted out. Yep. Inner Sayuri said. At this moment a million thoughts were going through Sayuri's mind. But she kept coming to the fact that she was crazy and delusional. Really, how hard did I hit my head on that tree? Sayuri thought. I heard that. And no, it wasn't because you hit your head on the tree. You could say that I'm all your feelings that you pushed back in your mind. I couldn't come out until the snake bit us. Inner Sayuri said. Sayuri, still not understanding anything, was interrupted by her new persona. Okay, listen, we can talk about this later. Right now our boyfriend is in danger, so get to it and take care of him. Inner Sayuri said. Sayuri agreed. Since Naruto comes first, she find her answers later. Wait. What do you mean? Our boyfriend? He's mine. Not yours, mine. Sayuri shouted mentally. Whatever, just help him. He looks like he's going to die. Inner Sayuri signed. Sayuri nodded and crawled to Naruto's side since she can't walk for the moment. Even then her whole body was hurting like crazy. When she finally got there, she noticed the lack of a wet towel or cloth on his forehead, but she remembered a towel fell from her head when she woke up. That bitch Banshee. She didn't give Naruto a wet towel. Sayuri mentally shouted. When that Banshee comes, torture her and humiliate her for not treating out Naru properly, Inner Sayuri shouted. Sayuri agreed, so she crawled back to where her towel was and grabbed it, and felt that the towel was still wet, so she crawled back and put on Naruto's head and sat next to him with her knees up to her chest and hugging them. She was then thinking about their fight with Orochimaru and how even when Naruto used the Kyuubi's chakra he still couldn't beat Orochimaru. Then she remembered what she had done and what Naruto said about how she wasn't the Sayuri he fell in love with. She felt shame at that. I should have known he was going to kill us either way, and what did do I was surrendering and endangered my team. Then again I was only endangering Naruto-kun. Sakura went to who knows where and abandoned us. Sayuri thought. She was broken out of her thoughts when she heard a groan from Naruto. When she faced him he looked like he was having a nightmare. She couldn't do anything but hold his hand and pray that he was okay. Hey, I know what you could do. Inner Sayuri said. What? Sayuri said hopeful. Take his clothes off and sleep with him. He won't mind, and besides it's the only time you're alone with him. No fangirls watching and no perverted cage watching us, so go for it. Inner Sayuri said perversely. Hell no. How can my inner be perverted? Sayuri asked herself. Hey, in my defense I'm you, so that makes you a pervert. Inner Sayuri said. I'm not a pervert. Sayuri said. Yeah, whatever, just do something to help Naru. Inner said worriedly. Yeah, but I don't know what. Sayuri thought as she looked at Naruto. Like I said, but Inner Sayuri never got to finish as Sayuri disconnected her and went back to taking care of Naruto. A few hours passed and Naruto's fever hadn't gone down. She was getting worried until she heard the sound of bushes moving. When she got her kunai ready to throw, she immediately stopped when she saw a squirrel. She breathed a sigh of relief until she saw the exploding tag on the squirrel's back. She threw her kunai, missing her target, but managed to steer clear of danger. But later she heard another sound of moving bushes. When she got another kunai and ready to throw it, she saw her sorry excuse of teammate Sakura. Hey Sasuke-kun, you woke up. Sakura did her banshee scream. Sayuri on the other hand threw her kunai nonetheless. Sakura somehow managed to dodge it. Hey, what was that for? We're teammates. Sakura shouted. TCH only on paper, Haruno. Sayuri said as she ignored being called Sasuke, knowing that it was useless to change the freaks' minds, and went back to her responsibility on taking care of Naruto. TCH, why are you taking care of the demon? Not like he needs it. He'll just heal himself. Sakura said, not noticing the murderous glare. Haruno, I reckon you shut that mouth before I do it myself. Sayuri said, glaring at Sakura, ready to follow up with her threat. Sakura, being smart for a change, decided to listen. Oh, and one last thing. Sayuri said, motioning for Sakura to come closer since she can't get up yet. Sakura followed the sign and came closer to Sayuri, but was later forced back by a punch from Sayuri. Call Naruto a demon again and I swear you'll feel more pain than that. Sayuri finished with a huff and went back to Naruto. Sakura didn't go back, instead she sat far away from Naruto and Sayuri due to the fear of being punched again. And so they sat there waiting for Naruto to get better. Or at least Sayuri was. Sakura was secretly praying for Naruto to die. He up all night, a voice said behind Sayuri and Sakura. When they looked around they were shocked. These guys. Sakura thought, remembering them in the first part of the Chunin exam. Well, looks like you're awake, Sasuke Uchiha. Let's fight. The man covered in bandages said. Wah, Sayuri said, shaking. I can't fight now. Especially now since my chakra is mess up and I still haven't recovered from my fight with Orochimaru. Sayuri thought. What are you talking about? I know that someone named Orochimaru is pulling the shadows from the shadows. What does he want? What's his purpose? Sayuri shouted. Quote, question mark, exclamation mark, quote. The Oto Nins looked shocked at the mention of Orochimaru. What did he do to Naruto-kun? What is this weird mark he gave me? Sayuri shouted. I wonder what that man is thinking. The bandaged Oto Nin said. Quote, comma, question mark, quote. Sayuri was confused. But hearing that, we can't let you go. I'll kill this girl and whoever this Naruto guy. The other male Oto Nin said. Sayuri was waiting for them to attack. Wait, Zaku. The bandaged man said. Huh, why? The now known as Zaku said. Sayuri stayed quiet. You're not very good. A recently overturned stone, different dirt color, and grass doesn't grow here. The bandaged man listed. Sayuri growled. A booby trap is pointless if it gets noticed. The bandaged man said. Damn, Sakura can't do anything right. Sayuri thought. PFT stupid. Zaku said. Well, since she's practically useless, we can kill her. The bandaged man said. The three Odo nin jumped into the air. Sayuri smirked and used her kunai to cut a string and releasing a trap. Giant log. What, another trap above? The bandaged member said as he put his hand on the giant log and put two fingers together and close to his face. And the log smashed into tiny pieces. Sayuri was shocked. Frankly speaking, you have no talent. People like have to work harder to catch up to us. Weaklings like you should just give up. The bandaged man said. Leaf spinning wind. A voice said as he knocked the Odo team out of the air. The Odo nins were on the ground. The mystery person stood in front of Sayuri. Then you guys should also work harder. The mystery person said, smiling, and a squirrel on his shoulders. Isn't he? Sayuri thought. Who are you? The bandaged Odo nin said. The beautiful green beast of Konoha, Rock Lee. The now known as Rock Lee said. Why are you here? Sayuri said, shock evident in her voice. I'll always be there when comrades are in trouble. Lee said as he let the squirrel go. Well, thank you, you saved me. Sayuri said happily. I said it before, I would do anything for a comrade when they are in trouble. Rock Lee said, facing the Odo nin. Yes, Guy Sensei, I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Lee thought happily. Lee likes Sakura, but that doesn't mean he doesn't want to impress other girls. He wants to be hip. The bandaged Odo nin grabbed his earth scroll and tossed it to Zaku. Oh well, Zaku, the other brat is yours. I'll take care of them. He said. From what I can tell, Uchiha-san is in no condition to fight. Lee thought. Thick brows has as advanced in taijutsu. This should be fun. The bandaged nin said as he got his right hand out and dodged the kunai Sayuri threw at him. Lee put his hand underground, waiting for the Odo nin to strike. When he did, Lee dug up a huge tree root from the ground, making the Odo nin attack the root. There's some trick to your attacks, so it's pointless to simply dodge. After all, I have seen your attacks before. Lee said. This person is strong. Sayuri thought, unknowingly activating her Sharingan. It's 3 against 1, I'm at a disadvantage. Looks like I'll have to risk it and crush each of them at full power. Lee thought. Well, looky at here. Guess what I found? The female member said while pulling Sakura out of her hiding spot by the hair. Quote, exclamation mark, quote. Both Sayuri and Lee were shocked. Somewhere in the forest. We can't find weak-looking guys. Ino shouted. Like I said before, the only guys weaker than us would probably be Naruto's team. Shikamaru said lazily. Idiot, what are you saying? Ino shouted. What? Shikamaru said, confused. Sakura and Naruto are both losers, but they have the great genius Sasuke on their team. We can't win against him. Ino said fangirlishly. I don't know about that. Geniuses can break under the pressure of the real world. Shikamaru said. What did you say? Ino shouted. And besides, isn't Sayuri not Sasuke? Shikamaru said. Ino looked at Shikamaru and wanted to kill him. It's not Sayuri, the demon is only controlling him. He'll be back to normal when the demon dies. Ino said. Geez, this Sue, you say one bad thing about Sasuke or even talk about his gender change, she goes crazy, always. Shikamaru thought. There's no way Sasuke-kun would lose. Sakura and Naruto is another story. Ino shouted. Naruto is out cold, Sakura is held captive, and Sayuri is losing. Choji said. Ino said. With Neji and Tenten, Lee sure is late, which strange, he's usually on time. Could he have run into an enemy? Tenten said, worried about her bushy brow teammate. Well, that's very unlikely. But let's go check just in case. Neji said. Yeah. Tenten said. Flashback. Yes, I finally mastered it. Lee shouted. Calm down, Guy said. So Lee was the only one that was able to master it. Guy thought as he looked at Neji. Lee. Guy shouted, trying to get Lee's attention. But Lee was too happy to hear Guy. So Guy punched him. Listen to my youthful message. Guy said to Lee. What is it? Please tell me. Lee said while crying. This technique Lotus will be forbidden from now on. Guy said seriously, and both Neji and Tenten were shocked that he could be serious. Lee was shocked. Why is that? Lee asked. This technique puts a lot of strain on the brain and muscle fibers. Usually humans use about 15% of their muscles. However, if you use 100%, the muscles will destroy themselves because they will not be able to withstand the strain. Normally your brain is holding the power down, but this technique causes the limiter in the brain to be broken using chakra. When that happens, your muscles' power will increase, causing you to be at your highest in taijutsu. However, you will die in the end if that happens. That is why the only time you can use this is during a certain condition. Guy said. Lee saluted Guy and asked. What kind of condition? That is. Flashback end. Guy sensei, I'm going to use this technique without any reservation. Because right now, Lee thought as he was unbandaging his bandages. The bandaged Oto Nin was running towards him. Cuz right now is the time to protect a precious person. Lee thought, wanting to protect Sakura. Same as the manga and anime, so need to explain. Lee-san. Sayuri shouted as she saw that Lee was vomiting. Lee on the other hand felt that his right ear was hurting. My right ear. He thought as he was clutching his right ear. There's a little trick here, that you just can't dodge my attacks. The bandaged Nin said. What did he do? Sayuri said out loud, interested at how he damaged Lee. It's sound. Even if you dodge my attack, you can't dodge sound. The Oto Nin said crazily. Huh? Lee thought, confused. Do you even know what sound is? The Oto Nin said. Vibration. Sakura said in a rough voice of pain, still being held by the hair by the female member of the Oto Nin. Exactly. Hearing sound means that your eardrums are catching the shaking of the air, and the human eardrum will break if it hears anything over 150 MHz. And deeper in the ear lies the inner ear membrane, which when damaged will cause you to lose balance. You won't have control of your body for a while. The Oto Nin said. Remember, most the stuff I'm saying is coming from the manga. Hell, I didn't know that much info. Hehehe, lame old taijutsu won't work on us. Although you did pretty good, you forced me to use my jutsu. But of course you failed. I can freely control supersonic sound waves and air pressure. I have the power to blast a boulder, turn the ground into a cushion. Our technique is different than your stupid techniques. Zaku said. Damn it. Lee thought. The only time you're allowed to use this technique is when you are protecting a precious person. Guy said. Precious person? Lee said back, confused. By the way, good job in mastering it. Guy said, poking Lee's head. Damn it. Lee thought, remembering his sensei's speech. The Oto Nin then changed targets to Sayuri, who was sitting behind Lee. Crap. Lee said. He's coming. Sayuri thought. Lee then did the impossible. He moved his body to where Sayuri was trying to use his body to shield her. The Oto Nin was surprised that he was able to move his body after what he did to his inner ear membrane. Impossible. The Oto Nin said. Lee-san. Sayuri thought. Leaf spinning wind. Lee shots trying to hit the opposing Nin but couldn't finish the attack due to the injury he received earlier. So that attack is affecting you after all. You scared me there of a second. It seems that you can't do repeated taijutsu with the speed you had before. The bandaged Nin said. The Oto Nin then punched Lee, but Lee was able to block it. This arm is able to multiply small sound to their ultimate level. It is just like a speaker. But the sound doesn't follow the direction of my arm. I use my chakra to always hit my prey. The Oto Nin said. Ahhhhhhhhhh, Lee shouted. Lee-san. Sayuri shouted. Now let's finish this. The Oto Nin said. I won't let you. Sayuri shouted as she threw a combination of kunais and shurikens at the bandaged man. However, he used the speakers on his arm to block the weapons. Geez. The Oto Nin said. In bushes. Hey, let's get out of here, this seems dangerous. And they seem to be in a serious fight. Choji said. It looks like Naruto is knocked out. And Sakura is being held. Not only that, it seems that Lee Guy is beaten and Sayuri is fighting alone. What will you do, Ino? Shikamaru said. What will I do? Ino questioned. Well, Sakura is in trouble. Didn't you guys used to be good friends? And not only that, Sayuri is exhausted, she won't be able to hold on any longer. Shikamaru asked. But Ino was lost in the memory of her and Sakura when they were friends and how their crush on Sasuke broke their friendship. Why am I remembering that now? Ino thought. Hey Ino, what should we do? Shikamaru asked. Why are you asking me? You're the brains of this team. Ino said. Back with Sayuri. Sayuri threw 3 shurikens at the bandaged Oto Nin. But Zaku interfered and used a jutsu to blow the shuriken back at Sayuri. Kya. Sayuri was covered in slashes from her shurikens. He blasted back my shuriken. Sayuri thought, but then she heard screaming. When she turned to the source, it was Sakura. Screaming from her hair being pulled. Damn it. She's been useless this whole time. There's only 2 ways to get her out. 1. Attack the Oto Kunoichi and make her release her. But then she could use Sakura as a shield, which I don't care, but then we lose the Chunin exam. And 2. Cut her hair. But then I'm not going to hear the end of it afterwards. Why doesn't she just get a kunai and cut her hair to break free? Is her more important than her life? Sayuri thought. Sayuri looked around knowing she needed help. Hell, if you gotta do something, you have to do it yourself. Sayuri thought. She then threw a kunai aiming it at Sakura's hair. Ha, so you decided to kill your teammate, huh? The female Oto Nin said. But then felt that a load was off her body. When she looked at her hand, she was holding a bunch of pink hair. Good, you're free now. Help me, Sakura. Sayuri said, a little bit happy that the pink banshee could be useful. But she thought too soon. Apparently Sakura's hair was more important than her life, so screamed that her long hair was short and fainted. This bitch is useless. Everyone thought, even Shikamaru. Except Naruto and Lee, they were unconscious. Zaku used this chance to use the same jutsu as before and blow Sayuri back. Sayuri was blown back and was face down on the ground. She then turned her head and saw Naruto and Lee. Damn it. Naruto protected me from Orochimaru. And Lee-san protected me from these guys. What have I done for them? All did for them was act weak and do nothing but sit down and watch as they protect. If I only had power to protect them. Sayuri thought. I thought you'd never ask. Inner Sayuri said, and with that everything went black for Sayuri.